Hello, Daily Dosers. Chris with you again. Man, I hope when you clicked on this today, you were thinking, I hope this is an odd little verse. I hope this is one of those verses I haven't spent much time on and I'm not quite sure what it thinks or what I think about it or what it says, because that's exactly, I've only been given one verse. Can I gripe a little bit? I've allowed Christopher Hilkin, and I've just told him, not that I allowed, but he and Kirk Jones make up who gets to teach on the Daily Doses, and they split up the passages. This is 3 times he's given me just one verse. Do you think there's something going on there? So we're in James, we're in chapter 5, we're in verse 12. I hope you guys understand that I love that dude as a little brother, maybe a favorite nephew. Maybe he sees me as a cool grandpa. I don't know. But it's funny that he gives me one verse. Oh, we'll talk. James 5 says this. It's quirky. Right after talking about suffering, he just adds this line. James 5:12. Above all, brothers and sisters, do not swear, not by heaven or by earth or by anything else. Let your yes be yes and your no, no, or you will be condemned. Okay, first of all, I'm not quite sure what this is all about. I do know what it's not about. When it says, first of all, brothers and sisters, do not swear, this isn't a cursing like some of us think, a swear word. We're talking about making oaths. He says, look, in the midst of trying times, in the midst of suffering, he gave us how to have patience. And then almost an afterthought, he goes, oh, one more thing. Don't make these oaths like by heaven or by earth. Just let your yes be yes and your no be no. So let's just take this at face value. Sometimes I think we can dig way too deep into a word by word and just look at what he's saying. In the midst, especially where we're running out of patience, in the midst of suffering, in the midst of some trying times, we sometimes make some real flippant oaths, some promises. And there's nothing wrong with making an oath or a promise in the Bible. It was part of the law in Exodus. God had made oaths in the Old Testament. Prophets did. Jesus himself, you could say, made an oath, promising that one day I will return on the clouds in the Father's glory. In Romans chapter 1, Paul makes an oath. He goes, I swear by God that I remember you in my prayers every day. As God is my witness, I will attest to the fact that I pray for you every day. So making an oath, a contract or a pact with someone or something, it isn't wrong at all. What he's getting at is a character issue. He said, you've got yourself in a position or a situation where you have to make these oaths that in Jewish culture, especially in the first century, they didn't really count. If you didn't swear by God's name, but you swore by something else, it's like having your fingers crossed behind your back when you were a little kid. Or, hey, I winked, I didn't really mean it, or we didn't shake on it. He goes, look, just let your yes be yes and let your no be no. You're like, no, I promise, I swear by heaven and earth. He goes, if you're trying to swear by something to prove your word is good, let's take a look at your character and your word. Let's stop doing these little flippant oaths. If I come home tonight and I'm later than I thought I was going to be, and Amy's like, well, where were you? And I go, I just caught up at work. Oh, I swear, babe, I swear. That's what I was doing. That's all I was doing. What type of character do I have with my wife? Where I have to swear by something, that's what I was doing. Where I have to try to cover up my yes or my no. I think what James is just clearly getting at is let's be Christians where our words mean something. When I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. When I say I got that covered, I got it covered. When I say I'll do this, consider it done. When I say yes and when I say no, that means something. And I don't need to pinky swear or stick a finger in my eye, hope to die, or needle in my eye. I don't forgot how the children rhymes go. I botched that, didn't I? Go ahead and smirk and laugh at me. I'm used to it. This is just James coming back going, where's your character? Work on your character. A man and woman of God that when you say yes, people go, it's a yes. A man and woman of God that when you say no, they just know, boy, that's a no. A man and woman of God that said, this is where I was at, everyone knows, then that's where they were at. It's character. It comes from Christ. It comes at the end of 5 chapters of walking through this book and understanding. When I've governed my words, my humility, my lifestyle, my anger, now he hits, you know what that is? That's character. Let your character speak for itself. If you've got areas right now where you go, man, that's just not me, then you start today. Let your yeses be yes. Let your no's be no's. Don't swear by anything. Beauty of broken character is it can be rebuilt over time. Let's get building our character.